Alright, everybody, it is Tuesday, May the 14th, 2019. I am CJ Couch. Welcome to Couch Talk. Oh, fuck. Come on, Daisy. What are we barking at here? I guarantee you it's a turtle. Oh my god, I guarantee you it's a turtle. Let's see. Let us see. Yep. Unbelievable, Dinky. What's your deal? What's your deal? Okay. Nothing like having a crazy ass talk. What just happened? This was once evened, and now it's not, but okay, here we are. Wow. That's how you start a smoke break, and the only real way to start a smoke break would I guess be by smoking. This is off to a rough start. So, what a week this is. We've got, I don't know if I said this already, but PGA Championship. We've got people freaking out about Game of Thrones, completely sleeping on the show Chernobyl. Am I the only person that's watching that? Because it's all I want to fucking talk about. It is so good. Watch Chernobyl. If you're upset, oh, Game of Thrones is letting me down. Watch fucking Chernobyl, dude. It is so good. Like, I watch it at the edge of my bed, okay? Daisy was laying in a weird spot last night to where I could either move her or I could sit at the edge of the bed, and then eventually, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit at the edge of the bed, and I'm going to watch this episode, and eventually Daisy's going to move, She didn't for the entire episode, and neither did I, because it was that good. I was so uncomfortable, but I was just like, oh my god, this is so intense. The first 2 episodes of the docuseries Chernobyl are fucking crazy. They're fucking crazy. I didn't know anything about Chernobyl. When I say I didn't know anything about Chernobyl, I didn't know anything about Chernobyl. I watched that fucking Chernobyl scary movie. I actually went to see it in theaters. Obviously, I didn't even know what happened. I thought some nuclear bomb went off, which, basically, but it was way worse than that. Like the reactor core. I'm not a fucking nuclear scientist, dude. I'm some idiot doing a smoke break, alright? But it's some reactor core, and it fucking exploded. They don't know how it happened. I'm sure they figured it out. That's to come in episodes 3 and 4. But it's like, it's easily the best thing that I've seen in 2019. We're 5.5 months in right now, and nothing is better. Maybe Ozark was really good. Ozark season 2 was really good. That was I was gonna say maybe since 2018. But like, okay. The best thing I watched in 2019 thus far, I think, is Chernobyl. In 2018, it might be Ozark Season 2. Woo! That shit was so fucking good. If you have not watched Ozark, I do this HBO versus Netflix thing all the time where I think HBO is better. But the one thing that, the only thing, because Stranger Things has lost me. Season 2 wasn't as good. I'm going to watch Season 3, but like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm only going to watch it just, I don't even know. I'm going to watch it, But like, if I was struggling for money, I would not renew, well, I guess I am, but I would not renew my Netflix. I would renew my HBO before I renewed my Netflix. It's just, the Netflix to me, yeah, they have way more content, but like, you can watch, if HBO is behind it, if HBO is the ones who produced it and made it, then it's probably going to be one of the best things I've ever fucking seen. Every HBO show, like if you can name one bad HBO show, go for it. Like even these shows that get one season, like the show The Brink, with like Jack Black and all these other fucking people in it, like that show was so fucking good. Got one season, no one even knows it exists. And it's just like some random thing on HBO that I saw one day and I was like, oh, Jack Black's in this? He's fucking amazing, let me watch this. And HBO, beyond like, don't get me wrong, Game of Thrones does feel rushed, and spoiler alert, last episode with Dany burning everything and just like being the Mad Queen now. I just don't see how it gets wrapped up in a way that people are going to be in any way happy next episode. Like, there is so much shit left, and there's so many, like, okay, if you're going to bring Bronn into episode 4 and have him sneak up on Jaime and Tyrion and be like, I'm here to kill you, but really I don't want to kill y'all, obviously, so, like, let's make a deal. And now Jaime and Cersei are dead. Bronn is, like, Tyrion going to be sentenced to death, and Bronn's going to, like, champion him again. Like, if that happens, that's fucking lame. That is fucking lame. And that's weak, and it better not fucking happen. But, like, what else is gonna fucking happen? What? And is Bronn even gonna be able to beat Grey Worm? And is Grey Worm gonna fucking, like... Come on, man. It's very fucking... There's so much shit left. The way that, like... And also, I get that Dany's like fire and blood and rule through fear and blah 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 blah, and I see the character arc. I'm not stupid, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't hate it. Like, the way it went, whatever. But it ain't as good as Chernobyl. I can tell you that right now. The best part of season 8 of Game of Thrones is not as good as Chernobyl. Any parts of Chernobyl. I said it. I fucking said it. Even when Arya kills the Night King, it's not as good. So, now we're out of Game of Thrones. It's PGA Championship week. Who am I picking to win the PGA Championship? I picked Tiger to win the Masters, and he did. So, am I going to go 2 for 2? I can tell you one thing. If Tiger doesn't win, that does not mean he sucks. Like, it's so hard to win a golf tournament. People don't fucking understand that at all. Like, you can play really good, but somebody just happened to have the best week of their life. Like, they might not... You could be a way better golfer than them, but they're just... For some reason, it clicks for them. They get all the right bounces, and some dude just comes in and fucking wins out of nowhere, and they just played really good. That's happened, like, the past 2 weeks in terms of star-studded names. Like, the big names didn't win the past 2 weeks on the PGA Tour. I don't think that's going to happen again this week. I think it's really strange how much they've been, like, PGA Tour's been putting into Brooks Koepka. I don't know if that's because he did this thing with Michelob Ultra where he had to hit this 140-yard shot in New York City because the PGA Championship's in New York City at Bethpage Black. And he did this thing where he had this easy 140-yard shot to where he hit it onto this cargo ship that had a green on it. And he hit it on there, of course, because it's a 140-yard shot. He had 3 attempts at it. They should have given him 1. It was fucking an easy shot. He hits it on there and wins a free beer for everybody. And I just, like, I don't know if they're, like, not getting enough traction from that. And Michelob Ultra and PGA Tour, I'm sure they're all partnered up, and they're like, let's push Brooks Koepka to get more people into him. But something really strange happened, and I'm not, like, I don't think sports, you can fix them. But, like, isn't it strange how literally a week ago, last Tuesday, on First Take, they were talking all about, out of nowhere, how Kawhi Leonard is the clutchest shooter of all time, and he's more clutch than Kobe, and all this shit, and it was blasphemous, and it was like this big topic. Like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, Kawhi Leonard is considered the clutchest shooter of all time. Like, I don't understand where that comes from, but boom, it just pops up. And then he hits the fucking buzzer beater in Game 7 in, like, the most of dramatic fashions, bro. It's kind of weird. So, it would be insane if Brooks Koepka goes back-to-back at the U.S. Open the past 2 years, and then back-to-back, because he won last year's PGA. If he went back-to-back PGA champions, that would be fucking insane. To be a person who holds 2 U.S. Open championships and two PGA championships at the same time, that's fucking insane. I'm picking him to win, Brooks Koepka, just because I have this weird feeling. I think Brooks Koepka's going to win. They're putting so much emphasis on him out of nowhere. And like I said, I don't think, especially in golf, I know you can't fix golf. You can definitely, like, this is what I mean. Sure, you can make it to where Brooks Koepka doesn't win the golf tournament, but you cannot make it to where he for sure does. Because at the end of the day, you have to be able to hit a shot to win a tournament. At some point in this thing, unless you paid the entire field of 150 people to shit the bed and play horrible on purpose, you are not going to get somebody who just runs away with the tournament. It won't happen. It happened with, oh my god, Martin Keimer at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Like, he had like an 11-shot lead or something. It was ridiculous. It happened with Tiger at the U.S. Open. But it mostly doesn't happen ever. And it's not something, golf is not something that you can control where, oh, this person, we want this person to win, so they're going to win. Like, it's not like the Illuminati picks somebody to fucking win a golf tournament. Like, there is, like I said, I just watched a video actually before I was doing this. They were showing Hunter Mahan. This is from like 2010 or something. They were talking about how he was playing the best golf in the field up until that moment. They're like, he might be having the best week amongst anybody because it was the Dell match play when it was the WGC World event, when it was at like the desert course. And he fucking like shanked one from 135 yards in the middle of the fairway. Just shanked one in the middle of playing the best golf of anybody in the world at that point. It's just, golf is hard as fuck. So if you're putting it to where Brooks Koepka is going to win, and it comes down to he has to birdie 18 to win, and he doesn't, like, you don't just do that. So anybody who thinks golf is fixed and all that, like, no fucking way. There's no way sports are fixed, but it is weird. And I know you could do some weird calls and all this other bullshit, but I don't know. It just seems like it is weird that they just were talking about Kawhi Leonard out of nowhere being this like super clutch shooter, and then he hits like the clutchest shot in recent memory other than like Damian Lillard has been hitting clutch shots for years now, but I don't think he's what Kawhi is. And honestly, my opinion on basketball is so pointless. Like, I have not watched one basketball game this season. I've only seen the highlights. I've not watched a single basketball game this season. I watched like 2 last year. So I have no idea, what's really going on. Maybe Kawhi Leonard all year was hitting super clutch shots. I have no fucking idea. But I do know that it's very strange because they're showing like his stats. Like Kawhi at clutch shots, he has like 45 attempts. Kobe had like 230. And you're like comparing the two? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. So how is that? And then boom, he hits this super clutch shot. They're talking about how he's like, it's very strange. That's all I'm saying. That out of nowhere, Kawhi Leonard, is he the clutchest shooter of all time? And then he does that. It's fucking pretty weird stuff. But I want to pull up this Tiger Woods little article here. He is being sued right now, and it's funny because it's PGA Championship week. Like, when somebody told him, here's the story. I guarantee you he was like, I don't care about this at all. It can wait 1 week. So, and it's fucked up because somebody died. And I'm not saying that Tiger's right for thinking like that, but I'm just saying I guarantee you that's how he's thinking. So, the family of a Florida man who purportedly was drunk when he crashed his car is suing Tiger Woods, his girlfriend, and his restaurant company, saying they should have prevented the man from drinking too much and driving to his death. Okay. Now, to the Eimsberger family, I'm very sorry you just lost your 24-year-old son. It's extremely brutal. I can't, that's horrible. I'm just going to report the story. I don't think, like, they shouldn't be suing him. I don't know. I think that I've been sued before, and it sucks, and I probably could have sued the people I was just working for, but I'm not going to do that. Like, it sucks to sue people. I don't believe in it, especially when it's something like this, where it's like, okay, this kid drank and got wasted and left. Sure, the bartender should be monitoring and blah, 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 blah. Just listen to this. Nicholas Eimsberger, 24, died December 10th near the community of Port Salerno, about 20 miles from the Tiger Woods Jupiter restaurant and bar, when he crashed his Corvette. So this kid's in a Corvette, wasted as fuck, and crashes and dies. The lawsuit blames Woods, who owns the restaurant where Eimsberger worked as a bartender, and Erica Herman, who is listed in the complaint as the general manager of business and is Woods' girlfriend, for wrongful death. The lawsuit, brought by his parents, said Eimsberger finished his shift at 3 p.m., sat at the bar drinking, and died in a single car accident about 6 p.m. So, this happened on the street that I grew up on Scott Mill Road, where the firehouse is now on San Jose, across, like, over by Outback Steakhouse. There used to be a bar there, and these kids were there. I think they were underaged. Yeah, so it's different because these kids were underage, so that I get it. But this place was serving these kids who had fake IDs, and they died. They got like decapitated and everything on my road, and they lived on my road. They died like at the front of their neighborhood, basically. There was this ditch, and they went into it going like super fast. I know that family sued, and this place wasn't there, and Woody's came and replaced it, and now Firehouse is there. But I do know that a bartender's not supposed to overserve. Now, they're gonna inevitably go to the bar footage because there are some people who there's some people who are super wasted that you cannot really tell, comparatively to some people who aren't as drunk and are sloppy as fuck. Like some people, just you can't tell if they're really wasted. So sure, maybe this kid sat there and he was sitting for 3 straight hours drinking, and you should know he's wasted. But if we look at the footage from the place and looks coherent and he's not stumbling all over the place and all fucked up, like how do you tell a 24-year-old we'll get you a new, like, okay, that is something. You're a bar and you just made a bunch of money off of this person. You can't buy them an Uber to get home. You know what I mean? Like that. There we go. So you know what I mean? Now that I think about it, that's why I like this, because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, okay, this isn't as simple as like, oh, this kid just fucking, he died and he's an idiot. It's like, yeah, there is negligence here in the bartender, but think about it. He works at that restaurant. So this kid is at least friendly, I'm sure, with the bartender, especially if he's going to stay there after work and drink. So he's probably like super cool with that person. It's like this blurred line of like, we're friends. My friend, they seem like they're good to leave. I know he drank a lot, but like, that's my friend. I know them. Like if they say they're fine to drive, they're going to be fine to drive. You know what I mean? And then I guess there is a level of like, you're so drunk that you don't give a fuck. But like anytime that, especially when I was younger, when I would drink and drive, like that's insane to be wasted and like, I don't give a fuck. This kid was going 70 and a 55. So like 70 and a 55 is so crazy to be wasted. You're gonna get a DUI beyond the crashing. Like that's all I would think about is like, I need to drive exactly the speed limit because if I get pulled over, I'm fucked. So I guess there is this, I don't know. I don't know. There's some people who, I watch these drunk people doing things, videos on Instagram, and people are fucking crazy. And they get drunk and do super weird shit that I never would consider doing. And I've been wasted, obviously. I've been bored. I've been blacked out. Never was I like, I don't give a fuck about consequences. They don't exist. Let's go. I don't know. It's weird. How some people get drunk and want to do crazy shit, and then some people get drunk and are like, fuck, I'm drunk right now. I can't do any crazy shit because I'm drunk right now. I don't know. It sucks that kid passed away. Seems like he's like from a pretty rich family. I mean, he's fucking living down there, driving a Corvette at 24 years old, working at a restaurant. Like, that restaurant I'm sure has a crazy tab, but maybe he's just some young kid living with his parents, making enough money to afford a Corvette. Maybe they didn't buy it for him. Maybe he's not spoiled, but he's like, I don't have a rent due or a mortgage or anything. I'm just gonna fucking get a badass car and ball out. It'd be a 24-year-old in a fucking car. I did that when I dropped out of college. When I dropped out of college, I was 18. I had a family business. My parents were like, you can live here, it's cool. I went out. I was making only like $400 a week at this time, so it's so stupid that I did this. But like my dad was like, oh, that's fine, definitely, no problem. So I got a limited edition Camaro that was the sports coupe, which is like in between the RS and the SS. They only made like it was stupid that I bought this car. It's like $587 a month or $584 a month or something like that. And I mean, I could afford it, you know what I mean? But like, it's so fucking stupid to be making $400 a week and have a $600 car payment. That's just so fucking dumb. And it was like, I think we got it to like own the car. We weren't leasing it. So it was for like 5 years. So now I'm 18. I'm stuck with a $600 car payment for 5 fucking years. what's that? You know, like, is that a good idea? Probably not at all. So, yeah, dude. Um, let's get into this. No, I guess. I was gonna save this. I'm gonna save it. I was gonna talk about cops and, like, unfortunately, a lot of them kill themselves. It's like, I think the number one leading death amongst police officers. I don't know how that could be possible, but amongst active police officers, I do believe suicide is the number one leading cause of death. So now that I said I'm not going to talk about it, I actually pulled up the article and I'm going to. So, yeah, I got it. Suicide has now become the number one killer, and this is as of this month, this is as of April. April 1st, 2019. This is the, I don't know what this is. The Washington, I think this is Washington Post. Suicide, the leading cause of death for police officers, data shows. This is by Brian Scott Smith, April 1st, 2019. Suicide has now become the number one killer of police officers in the U.S. That's according to Blue Help, a group that is helping police departments with the problem. In 2018, 153 police officers were killed in the U.S. in the line of duty. The same year, another 163 died by suicide. Figures only brought to light because of Blue Help and its president, Karen Solomon. She says, "We are the only organization in the country that has 3 years of consecutive data. We have narratives from the families. We have their names, departments, race, and gender. We collect a lot of information." So, why is that? I think because that's such a fucked up job you're hated everywhere you go. Every fucking where you go, nobody wants you there except for the one fucking person that called. That's it. You got one person that called you, and everybody else is probably really scared and pissed and hate you. They just hate you. Everybody hates you. You're driving down the road, people are just giving you the finger. And you're a cop. You're like, what am I doing? Like, why does everyone hate me? This is best case scenario. This is like not the piece of shit cop people. I'm talking best case scenario. And you're like, man, I am constantly, people hate me. And then you're dealing with people, like, you're responding to people beating the shit out of their wives. You're doing all the, like, the worst things. You're getting child sex abuse. You're dealing with the worst possible shit regularly. And you did 18 weeks of training? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many fucking weeks it is of training, but I'm gonna say 18. That feels right. It should be at least, and 18 months is not enough. I've said it before, if you have to fucking get a degree to be an accountant, how about being a cop, dude? You should have to do 2 years of, like, police academy, and then do 2 years of, like, ride-along shit and being, like, an apprentice type thing before you're just out there on your own. That is so fucking crazy that you can be 18. Let's just move it up. Let's say you're 23. Everyone seems to think that a 23-year-old is an adult. 24, 25, we'll go me, 26. Me, right now, I can just go from living the life that I'm living right now to however long, 18 weeks, we'll say 18 months, whatever. Then I'm a fucking police officer dealing with, like, the realest of situations. How do you get prepared for that? How are you ever prepared for that? You can't. The only way you can get prepared for that is by being in it. They can't teach you about it. Even if you went to school for 10 years and were taught, you're going to go to someone's house and the daughter is going to be raped and murdered and you're going to have to just arrest this guy. Or the daughter is going to be raped and beat the shit out of and you're going to just arrest the dad or the brother or the neighbor or the person who's doing this. You're just going to have to not do anything but arrest this person. You're going to have to see that, experience that. No matter how many times you go over that in some weird training, it's never going to be like when it really happens and you really see somebody who is brutally just devastated by another human being and you have to help them. It's too much, man. I guess I'm gonna smoke another cigarette. It's depressing. But then we got to deal with, like, okay, suicide is like a huge leading cause of death. Now it's the #1 leading cause of death amongst cops. Probably the #1 leading cause of deaths amongst veterans 10 years, in a 10-year window after getting out of service. Guarantee you the #1 cause of death is suicide amongst people who fought for our country and went back. Like, that's so crazy to me that an 18-year-old, like when I was 18, I'm still a pussy. Like, look at me. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these hips. Look at that. Look at this. Look at these shoulders. Look at this. Okay? This is a 26-year-old. Imagine me when I was 18. Imagine that. Okay. And I'm gonna go fight a fucking war? What? Oh my god, dude. Like, to be 18, and there's some kids who are 18 and they are fucking way more of a man than I am right now at 26. I get that. But like, the fact that just basically any 18-year-old fucking twerp, and I'm talking about myself here, can go join the military, that's so crazy to me. That you can be an 18-year-old fucking little kid and within not even a full year, but now you're 19. You're 19 and you've just done training and shit, and you're going to Afghanistan. You're going to all these places to fight a war and make crazy decisions. Crazy fucking decisions. Where, like, do we attack this village? I have no idea. I'm not going to act like I know what the decisions are. Because I don't know. That's the truth of it. I don't fucking know. For some reason, I'm thinking about Game of Thrones. I said village. I do know what I'm talking about, though, right now. I know I'm talking about, like, you're 18, you're in the army. That's crazy, dude. What's really crazy to me, though, that Game of Thrones has just, like, always fucked with my mind is that for most of human history, you're, like, fighting somebody. I don't understand how anyone ever lived through any battles. Like, sword battles with art. Like, what was the percentage of people who died in battle when it was hand-to-hand, sword-to-sword, crossbow-to-crossbow, horse-to-horse fucking combat before guns? Did 80 to 90% of people die? For real. Like, just crazy shit. Like, someone's swinging a sword around you. How do you even know? That's the crazy. Like, you could just kill your friend. For sure, that happened all the time. But, like, you're just swinging swords around. Somebody just swings a sword, cuts through somebody. You're, like, killing somebody, and then it slices you. Like, what the fuck? Like, they're all in there, and there's, like, that is just... We are so disconnected from who we used to be. Like, no one would do that now. No one would fucking do that. Like, if somehow it came where all the guns, if, like, some woman, I don't know why it has to be some woman, if somebody just casts some spell, but it's always a woman that's casting a spell for some reason. I don't know why. I've never heard of a dude casting a spell. That is so funny. But, like, somebody casts a spell and all the guns magically disappear, and we all start fighting old school style, like, it would take so long. Like, it would be so easy to, like, if you could be the person who's like, okay, I've got a sword, I don't give a fuck, I'll fight to the death, you would be able to take over because nobody else is going to do that. Like, nobody is going to want to go to some battlefield and just meet at the middle with swords. How do you live? That's fucking crazy. If I was there, I would literally just run around and kill everybody that was in the middle of a fight. I would, like, and then I would die because I'm running around. Like, I don't understand how anyone ever made it through any of that shit. Seriously. Like, here's one. What percentage of fucking soldiers made it through 2 battles? Who fought in 2 fucking battles? 1%? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. That is so scary to me. Like, I'm 26 years old. and I'm this. If I was in medieval times, I would be for sure already dead because I would have had to have fought in some weird thing. Think about that. Where you're just on I'm so stoned, but you're just on a battlefield. You got the American flag waving in the background. You got a fucking sword on, which is a hard on with a sword. You got a sword on, and you got, like, a crossbow. That's what I would do. I'd be the crossbow guy, dude. For sure. I would fucking for sure. They would be like, you crossbow guy. I don't know what accent that was, but the crossbow guy. And I'd go be crossbow guy because there's no fucking chance that they'd be like, all right, we'll put you with swords. No way. And all, like, I wonder, it's too much. It's too much. Crossbow for sure. I was watching some, like, medieval battle expert break down Game of Thrones battles, and he said that, like, crossbow people, like, they didn't really use them as much. Like, it wasn't really, it took him a while to realize how effective it was. Like, why wouldn't you just take everybody and turn them into crossbow people and just get on top of a wall and shoot everybody else? Why wouldn't that be how it's done? Just constantly get the high ground and wait for them to come to you and then just fucking shoot them with crossbows. Why are we down on the fucking ground with them sorting? That's it. If you're disappointed with Game of Thrones, watch Chernobyl. It will change your mind about HBO. It'll get you. You won't even care about Game of Thrones anymore. Like, oh, the wind blew him over. But you'll just be like, oh, whatever. Game of Thrones, I don't care. I'm into Chernobyl now. I'm all about Chernobyl. I can't wait for the next episode of Chernobyl. So, patreon.com/CJCouchTalk if you'd like to help support the show. You can find me on Instagram @CJCouchTalk. And if you have any questions, comments, insults, or would like to be a guest, you can email me. It is cjcouchtalk@gmail.com. I had something else to say. Oh, I do audio episodes too. I'm about to maybe do a Cast of Thrones. So I'll go over game. If you're into Game of Thrones, I'm actually going to like break down the episode and give you my real thoughts on it and be very in-depth, and it'll be way longer than this. In the podcast studio that is my bedroom. So, I love you so much. I will talk to you later if you're into Cast of Thrones. If not, I don't know when the next episode... I don't know. I just put out an episode. Motherless on Mother's Day. So, I don't know. Love you.